In the last 2 weeks alone, we've managed to sign 8 new high-ticket clients at the Affluent Agency. Now, a big part of our outreach strategy is email, and today I'm going to be outreaching live to some businesses via email for you guys. And I'm even going to show you how to automate the process so you can build a solid email outreach system for yourself. Now, this video will be similar to the video we did last year when I was going through live DM outreach. And if you haven't seen that already, then I'll put a link somewhere or in the description. Make sure you check that out after this video. Now, I haven't done another cold outreach email video on this channel before, so make sure you get rid of all your distractions today because this is going to be a big one. Let's get straight into this. So you're probably watching this video because you're struggling to sign up clients for your digital marketing agency, or maybe you're looking to start one and you just want to learn the ropes. Well, you're in the right place because email is without a doubt one of the easiest ways to outreach new businesses when you are first starting out, or if you're an existing agency as well. It's an essential part of your overall outreach strategy. The issue is 99% of people do email outreach wrong. Most people blast out hundreds of completely unpersonalized emails. And when we're in any kind of sales environment, we need to put ourselves in the mind of our potential customer. How would I feel? How would we feel if we received an email from someone that we do not know? It's completely unpersonalized, trying to sell me on a service that I've never heard about, or trying to get me on a meeting. Probably going to delete it, right? We're all going to ignore it, or we're going to say, I'm not interested. And it's because we feel like a cog. We feel like a number and have sent it to loads of other people. We're not stupid. So don't act like your potential clients are either. The key is that we personalize every single email that we send out, that we make that person feel special and make them feel like we haven't gone ahead and sent this email out to hundreds of other people. We need to say something that is unique to them. And I'm going to touch on that later on today. Another big mistake I see people make is they CC or copy in their entire lead list to be lazy, okay? And there are ways around this. Do not ever send an email with one person in the to and copy loads of emails in the CC, because everybody can see who you're emailing and you're just gonna fail. It doesn't work. And I know that because I did it myself when I worked in my first ever sales job. Screwed it up, didn't work, don't do it. But I have got a solution for you and I'm gonna show you shortly. Now, another thing people do is they try and sell via email. Our outreach email, or any outreach as an agency owner, should not be used to try and sell our product or our service, okay? We need to use it as an opportunity to strike interest and get that person on a booked meeting so we can prepare ourselves before that meeting and then go through a meeting strategy that has been proven to work time and time again. Now, the final common thing I see people do is send and forget.
How could you be so stupid?
People reach out to a potential lead and then they forget to follow up. Well, what about if that person was busy? What about if they just missed your email? What about if it got lost in the mass of other people that have reached out to them? Well, you've just burnt a lead. You haven't followed them up. And so the key to any successful email outreach is that you follow up with that person again and again until you either get a no or a yes. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through the entire process of actually finding a potential customer to reach out to, getting their information, sending them an email, and I'll give you a structure for that email as well. And then I'm even going to show you how to automate things so you can save a lot of time, and you can automate those follow-ups and eliminate send and forget. So with that in mind, let's jump onto the map. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is actually find a potential customer to reach out to. We're going to use Google today, just going to show you how to use everyday tools to actually find customers for your agency. So first thing we need to do is think of a niche. So let's say we want to reach out to gym, apparel companies. I searched it on Google and I've got a bunch of videos on the ideal customer on this channel. I'll put a link somewhere or in the description. Go watch them after this one. But for now, we're just going to try and find one off the cuff. And now I would recommend not looking on the page one on Google. It's going to be a lot of big companies. We've got Gymshark on here, Nike, okay, Gym Pro Apparel. We don't want to be messing around with these. Way too big companies. So we want to head up to maybe page 5, sometimes page 3. It depends on the niche. And we're going to try and find a company. What's this? Top of the page, Roan. Okay, Roan, what do you look like? The Waffle Henley. Okay, nice, cool images, nice company. Obviously pretty well established, got a lot of content. Let's see if we can find their details. Now, I always like to look for an About Me page. They don't have one, but they have brand, okay? What is that? So let's see if we can find anything about them. Okay, can we find a business owner's name? No. Fine, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back over to Google. We know that's called Roan, and we're gonna go Roan owner. Wow, that's easy. But that doesn't happen often, okay? It's very uncommon for the owner to come straight up on Google, but it's because there's a blog post. What I would be looking here is for this LinkedIn page, which we can see here. They've got a Wikipedia page, which is great. This is obviously quite a large company, actually 50 employees, so not as large as you would think. They've got a couple of blog articles as well. This is very, very useful. But we know this is now Nate Checkit. So what we could do is go back onto Google and we could go Nate Checkit email. Let's see if we can find his email address. Let's go on any of these websites. Easy Leads. What have we got? Easy Leads. That would be easy if we could just find that. View. Okay, it's not going to let us see that. It's going to make us pay for that information. Interesting. Okay, so we can't find that. Now, if we can't find information, I've already opened up a tab because we use very commonly a tool called Hunter. Actually, not so much in our agency these days because we pay for lead generation. But if you want to find someone's email address very, very easily, you can use a tool called hunter.io. This is something that I learned in my first ever corporate sales job. It's got me ahead of the crowd and enabled me to waste very little time when it came to my outreach. Now, I've just very stupidly got rid of that company name, so I've forgotten what they're called now. Roan. Okay, so I need the domain. So we've got roan.com. Take that. We're going to put the domain in there, and we have Nate Checkit. Okay, how do we spell Checkit? Nate Checkit. Cool. Nice. I'm going to search. And it's going to trawl the web to try and find a common pattern for these email addresses. So it's found ncheckits@roan.com. So let's copy this email address, and we want to actually check that this email address is legit, okay? It's actually Nate's email. So we can use tools like email-checker.net. There's loads of others as well. We can paste that in there, and we can check. It's going to send like a dummy ping to the IP, and it's saying, okay, this email address is valid, which is great. So now we have Nate's email address. What you want to do with that is you want to go ahead and you want to enter it into some kind of lead list. If you're an agency owner, this is what a simple lead list could look like for you. You, of course, can use CRM systems as well. But if you're just starting out and you don't want to do so, you can just create a spreadsheet. So we've got business name, contact name, website, niche, and location. We're actually going to need email address in here as well. Okay, so we're going to paste Nate's email. We have Nate Checkit. And the business is called Roan. The website is www.roan.com. The niche is gym apparel. And the location is Roan.com. Where are you based? It's US, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I saw it at the bottom of the page. Okay, what are we working with? Yes, it's the US number there. So let's go back over to our lead sheet. And we're going to go US. Nice. So here we have a lead list. And what we would then do is we would go ahead and we'd generate a whole bunch of leads. We'd spend a couple of hours generating as many leads as possible. Those are going to be the companies that we are going to reach out to. That would be our hit list. We're not going to waste our time doing that today, okay? Because we want to go through actually how to do this email outreach. I would recommend you doing this yourself as a new start agency, but if you have any money to invest in your company, if you have the ability to buy leads, lead generation is a very time-consuming thing. So you can use tools like Fiverr.com to actually find people to generate these leads on your behalf. So if you go over to Fiverr, we type in lead generation, we can find people at a very cost-effective rate to find and collect leads and build lists like this for us so we don't have to, so we can just spend our time actually doing the outreach. So if I scroll down, we can see a whole bunch of people that we can choose. Let me even just look at, I want to look for someone with good reviews. So let's say I would do B2B lead generation by LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Crunchbase. Okay, that's fine. They've got loads of good reviews. These guys would generate 500 leads for £77. That's pretty good. I mean, 500 leads is going to take you maybe a day, probably longer than that if you don't have the right tools. For £77, it's an absolute bargain. 5 days delivery. I would recommend you getting a lead list, and then you don't have to fanny around with doing that yourself. So let's get rid of this and let's act as if we were actually going to, or let's actually reach out to Nate. So what we would do if we were doing this manually is we would take that email address, we'd go over to our email account. I use Gmail as my host. I'm going to put that email address in. And then the first thing we need to do is add a subject line. Now, a very important thing with a subject line is that it's very personal. It's very important that it's human and it's a little bit outside the box. What we absolutely do not want to be doing here is if we're selling a social media marketing service, say, do you want Facebook ads, for example? It's just really not going to work. And so what we want to do instead is we actually want to say something that strikes some kind of thought. So is this true, Nate? Okay. Someone asked a question. Now, if you're expecting an extensive list of subject lines and copy and paste email scripts today, unfortunately, you're not gonna get it. I'm gonna teach you something way more valuable than that though. I'm gonna teach you the psychology behind why we say what we say and the essential elements to every successful email. So you can utilize this today to write an email off the cuff by yourself, which is what I'm gonna do right now. And you can use those lessons in every new sales environment that you are in. So let's move on from the subject line and move on to important element number 1, and that is a personal introduction, okay? An introduction to ourselves, but actually a personalization about the company. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, hi Nate, and I like to comment on either their Facebook page or their website or something that I've seen, so it'd actually be useful if I had their website open right now so I can comment on something. In fact, we do. So let's have a look at what they've got going on here. So we've got the waffle. I haven't actually seen gym clothing in waffle before. That's something that's pretty unique to me. So I'm gonna say, hi Nate. I came across your website earlier and was really surprised to see waffle design being used within your clothing. I haven't seen that before. I've got to say. Okay, let's do that. Something personal. Hi Nate, I came across your website earlier and I was really surprised to see the waffle design being used within your gym clothing. Fitness clothing. I haven't seen that before and I got to say I love it, okay? Because I haven't seen that before. It's a genuine comment and we want to use this and we want to say something genuine for every single person that we are speaking to, something that you could only say to them. When Nate reads this email, there's no single part of him that could possibly believe that I've copy and pasted this email and sent it to multiple people. It is so unique and it is direct to them. So we've got a personal comment and now I kind of need to have a bit of an introduction about myself. So my name's Jordan. I own Affluent.co. We're a multi-platform ads agency specializing in e-commerce ad. Man, I've typed so much today that my my typing style is not on point right now. So my name is Jordan, I own Affluent.co. We're a multi-service okay, so here we have our personal introduction. The next thing we want to do, important element number 2, is a pain point, okay? We want to highlight something that they are or aren't doing at the moment, something that we can actually help them out with. And so for me, it's going to be ads. And so let's see if they actually are running ads. Let's go onto their website, onto their Facebook page, sorry. I need to log into Facebook right now, so just let me do that. Okay, so after we're logged in, we want to go down to page transparency on the left-hand side. It says this page is currently running ads, which is cool. So we're going to go to page library and just have a little look at them and just see if we can gauge whether or not they're doing a good job. No ads in the United Kingdom, which is fine. And that could be an area that we could actually scale them out on. And let's have a look. So we're going to search. And what do we got? Okay, let's make sure it's for the right page. Cool, so they're running ads just for these shorts. Got quite a few ads running. But they've only been running ads since January, okay? So I imagine that means that these ads aren't super profitable because they haven't been running for a very long time. So I'm gonna close that, I'm gonna go back over to my email. I noticed when I was on your Facebook page, I noticed that you're running ads already. How are they performing? Based on your products, I bet you're smashing it. Okay, so what we're doing here is, this is not necessarily a pain, but we are planting pain in their mind. Okay, so if this company wasn't running ads, I would be like, I noticed you're not running ads at the minute. Is there a reason why? Based on your website and products, I bet you're smashing it, or you should be smashing it. So that's the pain. It's like, damn, we're not running ads. we should be, they think I'd be smashing it. With these guys, it's like planting a seed because I do not believe that their ads are performing very well. So I'm saying, how are they performing? And I'm planting the seed of, okay, shit, maybe not too well. In which case, they're going to go ahead and they're going to respond if they're not performing very well, because I've presumed that they should be. So that is the pain point, and obviously you can adapt this to whatever pains or whatever services you're providing. If you're remodeling their website, if you're doing email marketing, make sure this is relevant to whatever service you're trying to provide. Okay, now after planting that seed of pain, we want to provide a solution to that as well, okay? We want to offer them a solution and let them know what service it is that we actually provide or what we can actually do. So if we're an existing agency, we could say something like, we're achieving on average, so no, let's say 4x ROAS, depending on what you're actually achieving for our gym apparel clients at the moment. And I know we could do the same for you. Below is a screenshot of a recent client, okay? If you've got case studies, put that case study below. Okay, I'm writing this off the cuff, by the way, guys. Like, this is all completely off the cuff based on the psychology behind what we're trying to achieve here. So we're offering a solution. We're based on it, and let's say we're a new start agency and we don't have this. Based on from my initial look, I truly think that I can help you increase your ad profitability. And looking at your ads gave me some great ideas. Okay, so this is what we're planting, okay? If we're a new start agency, we don't have existing testimonials, we want to say something along the lines of, look, based on what I've seen, I can help you out. So from my initial look, I truly think that I can help you increase your ad profitability, and looking at your ads gave me some great ideas. I'd love to share them with you. Are you available tomorrow, or not tomorrow, over the next few days for an informal chat? Okay, this is our call to action. This is the final most important element of an email. Okay, it's all well and good selling someone, getting them hooked in, giving them a personal outreach, planting those pain points and actually providing a solution. But if we don't call to action, if we don't tell them what we actually want, then the email isn't going to work. So we're saying, I'd love to share them with you. I'd love to share these ideas. Are you available over the next few days for an informal chat? Okay. And it really is as simple as that. So let's just recap. We want a subject line, which is a little bit outside the box and is thought-provoking. We then want a personalized introduction. The personalization is essential, okay? We're gonna strike some kind of a pain point based on what they're doing at the minute. We're gonna offer a solution to that, and then we're gonna have a call to action. This is the framework of any successful outreach in general, not even just in through emails, but also DMs and cold calls as well, okay? Use the same framework. Now, finally, we have our signature, just a nice signature. You don't need anything fancy here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually send this email because our agency has a lot of results. Really, I should be mentioning a case study and I should be putting in ROAS here, but we haven't got the time to go ahead and actually change all of that. And we've got leads out of our ears at the minute, so I don't mind if this doesn't convert as well as it could have done if I put in our case studies. So we're just going to hit send there. Okay, so now that is sent, but to be honest, that's not really the most efficient way of doing things. In fact, let's go back over to this camera for now. Now, as an agency, automation tools are always going to help us refine our time and allow us to reach out to more people. And so today I actually want to show you very quickly how to automate the email outreach system and how to automate follow-ups as well for your marketing agency. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back over to the computer and I'm going to show you a tool called Lemlist, which is the outreach tool we use for emails in our agency, the Affluent Agency. Let's go. Okay, so all you need to do to access Lemlist is click the link in the description or type in lemlist.com on your web browser, and you can hit start for free to create a completely free account on the platform. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and log in so you can see the back end. Okay, so when we have created an account, we're gonna be taken straight through to the dashboard. You can see on the right-hand side here, we've got a whole bunch of information and tools that we can access. Yours actually won't look like this. You will have an onboarding setup form that'll help you actually get your email account added to Lemlist and have all the necessary settings already. Now, it's very, very easy to do. It's going to take you under 15 minutes. So I'm not going to run through that right now. I'll let Lemlist do what they are good at. But what I am going to show you is how to set up a campaign on Lemlist, because what a Lemlist allows us to do is actually upload a whole bunch of leads, an entire lead list, and it'll send out all of our emails automatically for us, staggering them over time. It'll even automatically follow up with our leads too. So I'm going to hit new campaign, and let's do campaign for YouTube. Okay, I'm going to click next. We're going to go ahead and we're going to upload from a CSV file, although you can input these manually. You can add your CRM system or from a Zapier integration as well. Okay, there's a whole bunch of ways you can do this. Now, we need to create a CSV file to actually upload into Lemlist. So I'm going to do that right now. And the template you want to use is going to look something like this. So this is the lead list we created earlier. This is what an import template would look like. I'm using Google Sheets right now. You can use a spreadsheet on any Windows Office software, or you can even use numbers on a Mac. So I'm going to take this information, and what this sheet is going to do is it's going to be used to import data from one place, this sheet, onto Lemlist, okay? So we've got business name in there, we've got Roan, okay, and we've got the website. And we've even got our personalization there. Okay, so to take that personalization, we're going to go over to our email we've just sent. We're going to take that right there. We're going to add that, and we're going to paste it into here. And then all we need to do is hit File, and we're going to hit Download, and then we're going to download as a CSV. Now, of course, what you would want to do is make sure you had a big list of leads, okay? There's no point just importing one lead, okay? So spend time to go ahead at the start of every day when you're doing your outreach and get all of your leads in here and write all of your personalization. So open up all of your website tabs, okay? Write your personalizations and then have them ready to upload straight into Lemlist so all your emails can be sent out in one go. So if we go back over to Lemlist, we hit Browse Files. I'm going to upload this CSV now. Okay, now we need to make sure the correct field is aligned with our document. So we've got name, we've got email, okay? This is going to be first name, okay? We only want to put the first name in the document. We don't want to send an email to hi, Nate Checkerton, or whatever his name was. Sorry, Nate, if you're watching this video. Business name, we're going to do company name. Personalization is going to be icebreaker. Website, we don't actually need icebreaker website in there. Don't import this column. Okay, we could actually have that on there. If we wanted to, but there's not a relevant column, so no, we're gonna get rid of that for now. We're gonna hit next. Do you want to enrich your leads from Lemlist? We're gonna hit no, thank you for now. If you want to know what enrichment is, go read it. Do you want to import leads that are already part of another campaign? No, we're not gonna do that. Okay, and we're gonna continue. And no, I'm not gonna connect with a CRM system. Do I want to use an existing schedule or create a new one? I'm gonna create a new one for you guys so you can see this. We wanna send our emails Monday to Friday, okay, so we want this to be working days. We're going to do this in our local time zone or the time zone of your clients. And what time of the day do we actually want to send our email? Now, I'd recommend selecting a full day schedule, but I would change that schedule to being every 20 minutes. So you can replicate this right here with a custom schedule. So you could do 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, if you want my completely custom schedule that we use in our agency, then it's inside the Affluent Academy. And we're going to send emails for a new email account. I'd send them every 10 minutes, but once you're actually primed your email account and you're using it more regularly and you're not falling into spam, then I would recommend you can drop that down to every 2 minutes if you want to. Select the email address you want to send this from. Cool. Create your sequence. Now we're going to be able to actually create these emails, and I'll show you what this actually looks like. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to set our step one, and that's going to be email, okay? So we're going to actually get an email sent over. We can have a look at some inspiration on Lemlist, have a look at their email builder, but we're not going to do that. We are just going to send over a blank email, and we're going to write one based on what we just sent to Nate. So if I go from here, I'm going to take that email, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it over into Lemlist. Okay, but we need to get rid of this line. This is really important because that's our icebreaker. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a custom variable and add icebreaker. So this is an area that will be imported from our lead list. We also want to change the first name there, okay? We want to change that variable to first name and then any other information that we need to change, okay? Make sure we're only sending this list to people who are running ads. That's very important. We don't want to be sending this to people that aren't running ads. And then we move on from there. Cool. We're going to want to add a signature onto there. Kind regards, Jordan, or if you go into your settings, okay, on Lemlist, you can actually import your actual email signature as well. So We should be able to do that from here. So we do that by clicking on signature. Cool. So that is email 1. And what was our subject line we used? Is this true, Nate? Okay, and we're going to add the variable first name. Copy that. Make sure we're formatted. Okay, there we go. That is email 1 set up. Now, if we want to set up automatic follow-ups, all we need to do is hit add a new step. And what we want to do is we actually want to wait some time. So we want to wait, I would recommend 2 days with no responses to then send your follow-up 1. So we're going to send blank email 1, and this subject line can be used as the previous step, or we could change the subject line if we want to play around. I would recommend keeping this nice and simple for first follow-up, something like, hi, first name. Just bumping this to the top of your inbox. And then you can just put your signature in there. Okay, nice and simple. One-liner for your first follow-up. Or just checking if you've seen this. Okay, or have you had the chance to check this out? Okay, keep it nice and simple. First follow-up email, one-liner usually works pretty nicely. But I would recommend all of you following up at least 5 times, okay? So you could follow up 2 days, and you could follow up 3 days after that, 4 days after that, a week after that, and then 14 days. So over that process, you're reaching out over 30 days and you're sending around 5 emails. But don't follow up more regularly than every 2 days. To be honest, every 2 days is a little bit too much. So I would recommend doing kind of 2 days, then doing maybe 3 days or 4 days after that. Doing 7 days after this. And then you could do 14 days after this. This would be a nice baseline for you with your follow-ups. Cool. I'm not going to go through all the other follow-up emails right now. I'll let you write your own, come up with your own, put memes in there, try selling, put case studies in. There's a whole bunch of ways you can follow up effectively, but we don't have time for it in today's video. Cool. Now, I want to save this campaign right now. And a whole bunch of other features on Lemlist, by the way. You can trigger a call, you can trigger a LinkedIn message, a LinkedIn invite. There's a whole bunch of things you can do on this platform, things that aren't within the remit of this video, so go check out the software yourself. It's absolutely amazing. Now from this, if we actually want to send this email, we need to go over to review, but at the moment there's a few things we need to do. It's not gonna let us because there are some non-configured steps, so let's delete those steps. We're going to make sure, what else have we got? Make sure that our schedule is actually selected. So we've got this schedule here. And we're going to do it every 10 minutes as a new start. Set our time zone, make sure it's relevant for you guys. Hit save, hit review, and then check out this email has pulled in the right information. Okay, so we want to check through that. And then once we're ready, we're going to hit all or review 1. And it's going to say, yes, cool, this email's good, and it's going to schedule it and get it sent out. We want to make sure that this play button is actually there, okay? Because if it's not actually going to be running your campaign. I'm going to pause this for now because I don't want to email Nate because I've already emailed Nate. So that is very simply how you set up a campaign on Lemlist. Let me show you some of the data on the back end of our personal email outreach efforts. Now, one thing that Lemlist does very nicely is it summarizes the data from your email campaigns in a very efficient manner. So if you go over to reports at the top, we can see all of the relevant data based on a campaign. So this is actually from Nina, who's one of our appointment setters. And this is an email campaign for people who aren't running ads at the moment. And we can see at the top here a summary of how these emails are going. So we've sent 1,800 emails here. We've had a 70% open rate, which is great. 6% of people actually clicked the link. The only link in the email is actually the website in our description, which is quite a lot. 10% of people responded to this email. 10% of the people that we sent this email to actually responded to Nina, okay? Now, of course, not all of them are going to be positive, but we've booked a hell of a lot of meetings from this campaign. We can even see a breakdown for each individual step. So we've got follow-up 1, follow-up 2, follow-up 3. You can see the response rate drops significantly as we progress, but you've got to imagine this is why it's so important to be following up, because we've got 36 people who responded then, 45 here, 24 here. And if we didn't send follow-ups to those people, they wouldn't have responded to our business. Now, if you want to gain access and you want to continue learning and you want to learn the exact copy and paste strategies that we use in our agency, these exact sequences that are getting a 10% response rate, let me go over to this camera, then you need to check out the Affluent Academy. The Affluent Academy is our online training program for agency owners to complete A to Z of starting and scaling an agency of your own to wildly profitable levels. Within that, we have the complete copy and paste scripts that we use, the exact emails we're sending right now, including our entire schedule, our follow-up system, the frequency between that, and of course, our exact copy and paste wording that we have literally optimized and mastered over years and years of running our agency. If that interests you, click the link in the description, either enroll into the academy or schedule a call with Connor. Now, I want to touch on one final thing before we finish this video, and that's to reconfirm the fact that you need to adopt a multi-platform strategy in your agency. Don't just rely on one thing. Don't just rely on email and then wonder why you're not having any success, okay? If we're trying to call 5 friends or we're trying to reach 5 friends, we're gonna WhatsApp one, we're gonna email one, we're gonna DM one, we're gonna call the other. We all respond to different mediums in different ways, and so it's very important in any sales-based business, we follow a multi-platform strategy. Email, DM, cold call, whatever your strategy is, make sure it is cross-platform to ensure you get the highest success rate. Now, finally, if you haven't done already, make sure you enter our ongoing competition on this YouTube channel, where if you drop a comment within 24 hours of a video being uploaded, one person out of all the comments will be randomly selected to win a completely free coaching call with me, where I'm going to personally help you build a roadmap to your first or next $10,000 online. So go ahead and enter that competition if you haven't done already. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Go ahead and implement everything you have learned, and I will see you all soon. Cheers, guys.